And I'm here to talk about the story behind the OxygenOS today. So OxygenOS has started its journey with the Oneplus 2. And back then, we had built a reputation for combining the best hardware with the best software. And when we made the Oneplus 1, we didn't have a big software team. So we have to give thanks to Android open source project. Although we know Google has a commercial reason for supporting the Android, and it doesn't change the fact that we wouldn't be here without it. So instead, we ran CyanogenMod, and it's a really popular Android build made by the open source community. So without open source and CyanogenMod, we wouldn't have gotten to where we are here today. So we are happy that Steve Kondik, can you light up? Yeah, we are happy Steve Kondik, the founder of CyanogenMod, is here today. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yeah, we do appreciate it. So thank you for supporting us and for being a part of our story. Thank you very much. And OxygenOS marked the first time we had to build our own ROM from the scratch. We had nothing at that moment. So user feedback became the guiding light for the development of the OxygenOS. And even the name was created by our fans on the forum. So we owed a lot to the person who named the OxygenOS. So yeah, Medifier, if you are watching this now, I want to say thank you very much. Yeah. So over the next couple of months, we worked really hard with our community to define the core philosophy behind OxygenOS. And many users say that they like OxygenOS because it stays close to pure Android. So I had to ask myself that why people so love the pure Android? What make people love this pure Android experience so much? And I think because it's a feeling you get when you turn on your new phone for the first time and everything just clicks. So it's a kind of sort of the experience all users want out of their devices, I believe so. And before the launch of the Oneplus 1, Android manufacturers were cutting the race to add as many fancy features to their device as they could. So even some smartphones today features duplicate apps. I think who here owns a phone with more than one pre-installed browser messaging or some application market app? I think some of you might have, right? And like animations, sorry? Like animations, unnecessary apps are the opposite. It's totally opposite of what we want to do with OxygenOS. So we will always stay true to the fundamentals of pure Android. So you might be asking yourself, if OxygenOS is just a pure Android, then what are they paying you for? So software development team spends its time looking for the way to make the Android even better. So that doesn't mean adding more and more to Android. So it's about keeping the things that works and improving the things that don't. So with the OxygenOS, we don't want to emulate the stock. So of course, each of you might have the different definition about what pure Android is. But one thing is that today, even Google's own device runs modified version of the Android. So we just wanted to add improvement and a meaningful addition to the Android. Again, we are not trying to stay true. We are trying to stay true to the core principles of the Android. We are not trying to be identical to Android. That is what we are doing here. So it's an Android refined. And then inside the company, we call it Android Plus, just like the name of our company. It has the meaning. So you are the one in Oneplus, and we aim to add value to your life. And that's what the Plus stands for. So our operating system has the same mission, which is following the same mission. And Android is one. It is the foundation of our software. And the Plus is what we do to make it even better. So we identified the 4 fundamentals of which defines the pure Android. This is our understanding why people like the pure Android. Because of the user interaction, it's very intuitive. And the second will be there's no bloatware. And the third one is the fast performance. It's very speedy. And the first is the power efficiency. First, every interaction has to be intuitive. For many of us, using an Android phone is kind of a basic muscle memory. And that you have certain expectation when you swipe down, swipe up, or long press, or tap an icon on the home screen, right? And that we are not here to mess with the way you use your phone. And I believe that Google employs a lot of the talented UX designers to make sure the Android performs intuitively. And it's been adopted by you, users, for a long time. It just works fine. So we are not going to spend our time to change the things that work. And one of the first things anyone will bring up when we discuss about the pros and cons of the running pure Android is no bloatware. It's just clean. There's nothing bloat. So every app has the clear purpose, limiting the redundancy. So for instance, you only have the one phone or one messaging app. Additions that are made to OxygenOS only enhance the flexibility, fluidity, and the usability of our devices. And all those bloats directly affect the speed of the ROM, and running stock Android was always known as the fastest way to increase the performance. And OxygenOS is optimized for speed. And thanks to efficient use of the memory and the lightweight apps, and the faster the phone, the smoother your experience. And the last one on the list is the power efficiency. And by cutting off the fat and focusing on the essentials, we solved two major user pain points at once. Not only is the performance enhanced, power efficiency is also increased by 20%. So that way you can rest assured that a full battery will take you through a day of the use and beyond of it. So if our goal was just to build a pure Android because people like it so much, then we just covered those four fundamentals and stop there. We don't need to do anything more then, right? But with the OxygenOS, we just use those four as our jumping board to create even better user experience. So Android is a good operating system. It is. But I cannot say that that's the perfect operating system because there's no perfect operating system in the world. So we believe that we can change and improve many things. So we set out to refine the experience by focusing on the four key pillars that define OxygenOS as an operating system. The first one will be the reliability and efficiency and speed. The last one is the user feedback. So many of the features introduced first were later added to measure Android updates. This is an example. If you looked at the home screen on the Android device a few years ago, every app icon had a different size. It was a kind of chaotic appearance. It's now getting better, yeah? But we identified the flaw early and released our own auto-resize feature. And it wouldn't be until the release of the Nougat before a similar feature was added to Android. So if nothing else, it proves that there's plenty of room to improve. So creating a feature that addresses pain points is all about listening to users. So we've got fans around the world and who all help us to build the ROM for the global audience. And the user input reaches us from all over, whether it be through our closed beta, open beta programs, which provides a valuable feedback on each and every feature we add, or our community, who are always eager to share the feedback onto our latest updates. So every feature we develop stays true to the pillars of OxygenOS: reliable, efficient, fast, and user-driven. So this is one example that the feature developed in response to users' feedback, which is we gave the option to users that which is automatically rearrange the icons on the home screen with just one click. Yeah, this is kind of a good example of how we implement user feedback at all stages of the development, because a lot of people said that the moving each icons to the different screen is really, really, really bad. So user feedback starts long before we release features publicly. So Oneplus users are involved in the entire development process. So in many ways, you are key members of the OxygenOS team. So this is especially true for our beta program. When I started leading the beta program last year, my goal was to use it to get the feedback on our product from users directly. So today, our beta testers are our core part of the product team. So they are providing feedback and suggesting new features at every stage of development. Like you see, they are spread out across the globe, and each providing their own insights on how to deliver a solid software experience from a different context and offering the personal and valuable feedback. We are proud to have some of the members of our beta program with us today. Please light up, and please. They are contributing to making your experience even better and better. So let's give a big hand to our beta testers here today. Thank you, thank you. And also thanks to testers who are not here today. Okay, so we are working with more than 250 closed beta testers. So they are our first line of the defense when it comes to the testing features and software updates is our closed beta teams. So we are in daily contact with them through our so we get their daily thoughts and feedback on our features, and we share with them for testing and validation. So our beta testers receive a new feature to evaluate almost weekly, no, almost daily, because when we comes up with a new idea, we just find them and talk them. And I feel like a little sorry, because we make them, keep them too busy, but I believe they are enjoying it as well. Now, they help us release the 43 open beta builds starting August 2016. Since then, these builds have been shared over 15,000 open beta testers. It's getting bigger and bigger now. And every time we release an open beta build, we receive thousands of unique pieces of feedback. And from the simple bug fixes to more drastic changes, our open beta testers help us identify and resolve new pain points every day. So it's all to ensure every software iteration is smooth and clean when it sees the public release. Oh, you got a good example of how our beta users help improve our software is the new booting animation. Probably if you're in the open beta program, then you might saw this before. And our idea was like this. We wanted to use this boot animation as our doodle space, so that we could deliver our season's greeting or some hints of upcoming events or updates. But unfortunately, user feedback was so negative. It was terrible. So it was hard actually. Yeah. So we decided not to move forward with this animation at all. And so ultimately, our users help us reverse a bad code before it went public. Yeah, this is a good example how our users make our software better, or this is a good example how they protect us. So perhaps the best and most recent example was our decision to give users the option of the updating application individually. A few months ago, users had to wait for our official OTAs to update all of their applications. So many users requested more frequent application updates. So yes, we decided to shorten the cadence for application individually. So now you can update your apps such as a launcher, gallery, and weather, and community apps directly from the Google Play Store. Seems like it's not a big thing, but we did it because we listened to you, because you asked us to do these things, so we did it. So, and then we will continue to add these options to more of our applications soon, and that you really need to, and yeah, I really want you to experience our process to understand what makes this special or different. But sadly, it would take too long time to take you on a live tour. So instead, we whip up this video to give you guys a better ideas of how our process works. Let's take a look.
We never wanted to create just a phone. That was just the starting point. We wanted to create a phone that got better and better and better with every update. And the only way to do that was to listen. So if someone said something about an issue with their screen, we knew what to solve. And when people started realizing we were actually listening, this whole community formed. Some people told us how annoying low-light selfies can be. So we turned the screen into a makeshift flash and added professional settings to make the camera way better. We heard people wanted to shoot more stable high-res videos. So we developed this software to greatly reduce shake. We're huge gamers, and we knew how annoying getting alerts can be. So we gave people a way to turn them off. We were never driven by a big research department. We're driven by these people who are our biggest fans and our biggest critics. So we try to do everything we can to surprise and impress them. Then we send it out into the world and do it all again.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm here to, I told you that I'm here to talk about the story behind OxygenOS. So there are so many things I want to say with you, talk with you, but I hope you guys understand with this video well, okay? So since the launch of the OxygenOS, this approach has led us to develop a number of fan favorite features. So a couple of them really stand out, and I'd like to introduce them to you today. Anyone plays the Asphalt 8 here? No? I do. So have you ever gotten a random text message in the middle of the game? I did a lot. So like I tapped the notification, I jumped to another application, and then when I got back, I really lost the game. Yeah, it's a terrible experience losing a game because of an unexpected interruption. So that's what gaming D&D does. It blocks notification while you're gaming to make sure you don't lose your edge when it comes. It's not like you will magically stop losing. We will not develop this kind of feature. It's cheating, so we will never do that. So, but at least you will only have yourself to blame, right? Yeah, so gaming D&D was never actively requested by any of our users. But by talking with users, we learned just how important it is to be able to focus while you game. So sometimes we are inspired by direct feedback from our users, but other times we got insight by talking to users. And through our Slack and WhatsApp groups. So we're talking with our close beta group daily, like through the WhatsApp and Slacks. So we learned a lot of our users like to play games. Yeah, seriously, our users love playing games. And that they hate being notified while in game. So we figured out the solution to fix this problem based on these insights. And do you have more than one Skype account or other social media accounts? It's pretty common to have the needs for 2 Skype accounts, one for the business, another one is for my family or friends. So our parallel application features gives you ability to create a so-called shadow version of your social media app. Yeah, this allows you to log into the same social media platform with 2 different accounts. So while my work account is filled with the requests and discussion on software and design, I keep a separate account for my friends and family, so I don't accidentally send out the confidential beta code to my drinking buddy or my family. Which is similar to our dual SIM feature, which allows you to have 2 numbers on one device. So it allows you to personally determine how you interact with your phone, with whom, and when. So this is all about the flexibility. And getting a new Oneplus device is incredibly easy. But all the joy takes a hit when you realize, oh, I still have to move a lot of data to my new Oneplus device. So we still remember having to hook up our phones to our PCs to back up apps, files, photos, and our call history or other data. But this process was awfully complex, I think, and often we just ditch it. I did it a couple of times because I don't want to set it again and again and again. So we just start afresh on our new devices. But now we are currently hard at work on a new application that will make the process of switching to a new device way more easier. So we call it Oneplus Switch. With the Oneplus Switch app, you will be able to transfer all of your files to your new OnePlus device with a single simple process. So features like this help set OxygenOS apart as a friendly and easy to use software experience. So we expect to release this feature later this year. So keep an eye on our updates logs for OnePlus Switch. And I'm sure we've got plenty of iPhone users here today in OnePlus launching event. That's okay, because we know that a lot of our users, they used to use iPhone before. So since a lot of you are joining our family, we wanted to make the transition a little easier. So OnePlus Switch is also going to be compatible with the iPhone. So this is the way how we welcome you to join OnePlus. So we are proud of OxygenOS and update coming to existing the OnePlus users. So since the launch of the OxygenOS, our team has prioritized pushing out the stable and reliable software updates. So by giving our team the space and time, they need to deliver a high-quality updates, and users can enjoy a solid software experience whenever we push out the major Android update. So what does that mean for the updates everyone's talking about? So here's what's happening with the Android Oreo. We never release any of our software updates without running them by our most dedicated users. So later this month, OnePlus 5 users around the world will be able to try out Android Oreo in open beta. You can download this from our forum. With your help, we will look to squash the last remaining bugs and glitch before pushing out the public updates to Oreo. So when will that go down? Android Oreo will come to OnePlus 5 in early 2018.